Hey everybody, real quick. I want to talk about dismissing your shadows, okay? Because I know that's easy to do. Everybody does it, right? It's so easy for you to dismiss the parts of yourself that you don't like, right? It's easy for you to dismiss the parts of yourself that make you embarrassed. And in your dismissal, you can actually tend to forget that they're even there, right? But the bad part in dismissing your shadows is no matter how good you are forgetting, how good you are about not acknowledging, they will always be there, okay? And they will always be there, and even if you shut them down, there will be a time where you were unable to hide them. There will be a time where they can possibly destroy you. So you have to make a conscious decision, especially in healing. You have to make a conscious decision, because you're going to heal until you die. Like that's another video. But you have to make a conscious decision of what do you want for yourself. And you have to actually be in reality. Like, you have to actually see ahead of time. Because you know how things play out. You see them, you acknowledge them, and you see them in other people. And you see how your own shadows have destroyed others. And you notice how your own shadows has crippled other people. You have a choice to make. Because that effect of you diminishing your shadows will not pass you by. You are not different. The things that the effects that those shadows are that people are bounded by, you are not exempt from. Okay? Because it doesn't matter if you see it in other people, if you acknowledge it in yourself, you know how the story is going to play out. You dismissing it is not going to dismiss the outcome of you ignoring your shadow. So the first thing when you come to shadow work and embracing your shadows is give your shadows a little bit of compassion. Okay? You have to be compassionate, not just to your higher self, but to the lowest functions of yourself. You have to be compassionate to your shadow self. Okay? Because there is a part of your shadow self that was unknowing. There was a part of your shadow self that was naive. There was a part of your shadow self that didn't recognize. There was a part of your shadow self that didn't know who your highest self was. So you placed yourself in things and surround yourself around people and could possibly participate in things that didn't affect your highest self to the highest good, right? But in that essence of knowing, like, you were only being where you were at that time, give yourself a little bit of compassion. Give yourself a little bit of love, because your shadow wants to be loved as well. Not just your higher self, not just your highest being. Even though I talk about being on the highest frequency, your shadow needs love as well. So the more you deprive your shadow of love and compassion and of grace, the more you are denying yourself peace. The more you are denying yourself healing. Because in order for you to be a whole, you have to be a whole completely. Like, your shadow part doesn't just go away from you. Your shadow part becomes healed in its shadow space. And once your shadow part becomes healed in the shadow space, because every part of you want to feel safe. Every part of you wants to feel safe. Okay? It's up to you. It's up to your higher self to guide your shadows now, because you know where your shadow lies. You know where your shadow went to. You know the things that your shadow is capable of. It's time for your higher self to rank your shadow self in love and protection and guidance. You cannot dismiss your shadow self because it makes you feel embarrassed, because it makes you feel guilty, because it makes you feel like you don't know enough, because it makes you feel inadequate. We all been there. Like I said, no one is exempt from this human experience. So since no one is exempt from this human experience, you have to show all parts of you grace in order for you to get total and complete healing. Love and compassion in your higher self, love and compassion in your shadow self. And that's how you will be completely one. Like, that's how you will overcome your shadow work. When it comes to shadow work, there are things that you can do to get to that point, but ultimately that's the goal. The goal is to love your shadow self as much as you love your higher self and protect your shadow self. Because now your higher self know the rules. Your higher self know what's going on. Your higher self know where your higher self wants to be. So you have to keep your shadow self intact. Okay? So when it comes to dismissing and not acknowledging your shadow, that's not good for nobody. You have to, this is a world full of duality. You have to love and embrace, and you have to love and embrace and show grace to every part of you. All right? Y'all have a good one.